My wife came out the door this morning and she hollered at me. She said, "Steve, we got a problem." Well, I came out the door and I saw the problem too. It's not something I was not aware of, but something that I knew that eventually I needed to get on. I just didn't know I needed to get on it this quick. Our problem is we got termites. And we've known it for some time. This house, or this apartment, was, if you will, vacant for several years. I knew we had termites. I could see it. The drywall's eating out. Casing on this door is eating out. And I knew they were in here. I just didn't know how bad. I come out this morning and there was a million, or this afternoon, a million of these things flying around. Now, I didn't have my chemical with me that would get rid of these things. This right here, Talistar. For the homeowner, this is one of the best things that you can get over the counter. I bought this at Southern States, and it will get rid of termites. Now, what happened? How did this all occur? Well, the problem is, let me step back here. When we built this place, the perimeter was sprayed for termites, and I'm virtually positive we don't have any other situation. But I built this up with some field dirt, untreated, poured this sidewalk here. And in doing so, this untreated dirt, also being so close to the ground, and then also having a floor mat here that gets wet, that moisture, untreated soil, a recipe for disaster. I can't today dig into this because when I dig into it, I need to be able to put it all back at one time. But what I am going to do is pull this brick mold off and spray with my Talistar a rather heavy coat, not very diluted coat of Talistar, and making sure that I soak this really good. This is hardy plank siding, so they're not eating that. But if they got moisture and they got wood and it's untreated, you're going to have termites. So I'm going to get into this just so I can spray this, and that'll take care of it till I can get onto it hopefully tomorrow. I'm going to have to rebuild this jamb, this piece, the casing. Probably, I don't know, we'll see when we get to that, but I sort of got a plan. And when you're having to replace a door like this, or a jamb, especially on a metal door, you need to replicate as close as possible what's here. That's going to save time, work, and effort. And so what I want to do is make sure I know exactly where the hinge is hit from that point right there to that point and to the top of that point, so I can replicate all of this, because this side's fine. I don't need to do anything over here. I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but before we had to head off, I had some of this #1 stuff for anything you don't know what you might need. This put a hurting on them. So the tools I'm going to need to take this brick mold off, I need a utility knife for cutting the caulk, a hammer, a flat bar, and probably going to need the cat's paw. So I don't break the hardy plank siding, is cut this caulk loose. Now warning, this is probably going to be ugly in behind this. You just want to raise it up a little bit at a time, and you don't want to pry against your hardy plank, because that stuff, although it's great stuff, it will break really easy. This is not the time to be in a hurry. You don't want to get in a hurry with this, because if you do, you're going to break your hardy plank, and a 10 or 12 foot piece of, I guess it's 1x8 hardy plank, is somewhere between $10 and $11. And there's no way I could match this color after being here for, what is it, 13 years? So, I don't want to have to replace that top piece of brick mold. All right. And I'm super surprised, of course, the brick mold had primer on the back side, and I guess that's the only reason the termites didn't eat it. I mean, it got eat up there at the bottom, but the rest of it is intact. Basically the same scenario. We got caulk that we've got to cut free. There's a piece of hardy plank right here, piece of base cap here. And this drywall, we know that they're in there. This is probably not holding on to much. Typically, the way casing is nailed on is you'll have like a 4-penny nail nailed into the jamb, and then a 6 or an 8 nailed into the framing. And that'll be all the way up through there. This is where we're at the end of this hour or so of work. We got this off, and you can see this jamb here. They just wreaked havoc in that. It's gone. These two studs, jack stud and the king stud, they both are gone pretty much. We'll see when we get into that. So we got our work cut out for tomorrow, and we'll get on it, make a new jamb, and do whatever we got to do to get this fixed back up. So it's the next morning, and I'm going to try to get this fixed up ASAP. Got 10 million other things need to be done, but this has got to be done, because this affects, you know, the home life. Well, as you can see, termites have made quite a mess. There's the remains, the carcass remains of those that enjoyed a little taste of WD-40. And I'm sort of impressed or amazed, if you will. I thought termites pretty much eat about anything except for maybe steel and concrete. But it's funny, or it's funny to me anyway, they don't eat this Tyvek paper, or they didn't in this situation. They probably would if they keep eating, I don't know. And of course they don't eat the paint, but they'll sure do a number on the wood. To try to fix this as quickly and easily as possible, I could remove the entire doors and jamb, but that would mean that I would have to come in and cut all this caulking, take all this off. This drip cap goes in under the hardy plank, and so I'd just rather not do that. What I think I can do, go to the shop and make me a piece of jamb. So here's what I need. Once I have it made, have the mortises set for the hinges, then I'll start the demo, tear this out. I'll have me some 2x4s ready to go back in here. Instead of trying to patch drywall and everything and going to buy a piece of drywall, I'm just gonna put like a 1x4 casing on this. There's just no need in going spending money for casing when I don't have to. So that's sort of the plan. I did not know, and my friend Dave lives in New York, I did not know, of course I hadn't even thought about it, that you guys up north don't have to deal with termites. That's a great thing. But we in the south, and I don't know where the termite line is, but I know from where we live and points south of here, they'll eat up everything, almost everything. But I know one thing, the softwoods that's used in housing construction, they love it. All I know is right here, I got to get rid of these, or my wife may get rid of me. So I need a piece of something that I can make 4 5/8 wide and 1 inch. That's gonna be plenty wide. It gotta be 1 1/4 inches thick. And that's pushing it, but I think that board will make it. Board's got a little twist in it, but I think it will fasten up okay. If I can cut it okay, that's going to be the trick. So taking that out, that should leave me 3/4 here, 1 1/4 inches here. This should be 2 1/2 inches. And then I've got to place the little groove for the weather stripping to go in there. Like I say, it's got a little bit of rock to it, but not enough to hurt anything, I don't think, and that should work. So the door jamb stands just like that. And cut the hinges in here and up here and down there. I might sand that out just a little bit. Notch out for those hinges. Sand it out, notch out for the hinges, put a coat of primer on it, and I think we're ready to go. I may just do the last one with a chisel in case you don't have a router. We'll give that a few minutes to dry, and then we'll come back and get the other side, and won't be long, we'll be ready for some installation. Okay, I'm gonna put this out in the sun to cure and bake, and find some studs and try to get this thing ready to install. Somebody says, well, why don't you take a jigger saw? And I may here in a minute. The thing with a jigger, well, I'm calling a jigger saw oscillating tool, is it just makes so much dust. Well, I found what was left of that stud. A mess, yes. Termites have no mercy. They go where they want to go, do what they want to do. Well, I've pretty much gone as far as I can go without taking the door down. It's got to be done. And I'm not sure yet exactly how I'm going to remount that box, but maybe we'll figure it out. Try to get this thing off. Well, I don't want to tear up the threshold, but it looks like there might not be any way around that, because I'm sure it's screwed in the end of that. No, it's not screwed, but it's nailed, stapled. Looks like I found a couple more live ones. I don't know where they were hanging out. I'll show you something. Evidently, termites don't like the glue in that OSB. I mean, they ate a little bit right there, but for the most part, OSB looks like the day it was put on. But this is pretty solid to here, so I'm gonna cut out here down to here. But we're getting there. If you've never torn into a wall, something like this would probably, well, you wouldn't even do it. And then if you did do it, it'd probably seem overwhelming. And I understand totally. If it, I don't know that I'd be enjoying this if I did. But what it is, basically, it's really not that complicated. Is you just put it back the way it came out, but you put it back better. It sure better be better than this. Right, I gotta watch them wires and stuff. So let me just mention one thing that you find, because this OSB and then your siding has nails that come in through the wall, like this one here. This is a siding nail. And then these nails, the shorter ones was put on holding the OSB on, and these 16 finish nails were nailed through the brick mold. So you want to get all your nails out of the way, and the best way to do that is with that metal cutting oscillating tool. That's the easiest way in today's economy. Now I've got a 2x4 that fits from here to there on this outside, and I need to get one down in here on this inside. And then once I get a 2x4 in here, run on the back side, I'm gonna probably take this cover plate off and fasten that with screws into that stud so that that will be fastened. I won't have any way to refasten those wires, but I mean, that is what it is. And it is what it is. I mean, I could figure out a way, but I'm not going to that trouble. So now that we got this done, and it's going to make us a good flat surface, for our casing. Now we're sort of getting down into the business end of this deal. Does it work?
Yeah.
All right. Weather strip fits. See, this is a brand new piece made in the shop.
Cool.
And 2 new studs. Over there's the other studs. There and that bucket. In that bucket. Seriously.
Mm. What'd it do? Just fall out of the wall in the middle of the night?
No. No, I tore it all apart. We started to leave yesterday.
Yeah.
And there were 1 billion termites on the outside of this. Your mom come out the door and she said, "Whoa." And the look on her face is like somebody had a wreck or something. So I come out and saw them and sprayed them with WD-40. And I got some Towel Star and I sprayed everything. Main thing is it works. Come inside, close it, and actually, before it was showing daylight, and now it's not. I'll tell you what, guys, I got a little caulking to do, got a little drywall work to do, but basically, this door is done. You remember what it looked like from the start? But now, it's as if it never happened. Hope you get something out of this, and if you do, please be sure and like and comment and subscribe and do all those things. They say it helps the channel, and I believe it probably does. I appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.